5 6 4 5 6 0. Connected to node 5 6 4 5 6 2.
Weather forecast and what's going on.
This is K9PQ via Echolink, standing by for net.
Node 3 0 6 5 4 6 5. Connected to node 5 6 4 5 6 0.
Good evening. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. The Western Washington Amateur Television Society is a group of amateur and radio enthusiasts that take to the airways with digital amateur television in the DVB-T format. We transmit on 70 centimeters to a crossband repeater in Cougar Mountain and spits out images at 1.2 gigahertz. Find out more about our operation, please Google WW7ATS. That's Google WW7ATS. That will take you to our homepage on the internet. There you'll see the exact frequencies we transmit and receive on, and also you'll find a link that'll take you to YouTube, where we stream our nets held Wednesdays and Saturdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. Also, we'd like to thank Western Washington Amateur Television's 2-meter station WW7STRs 147.08 for simulcasting our audio for our nets. Incidentally, they have a tone of 103.5. For with that, I'll pause in case anybody
traffic or needs to make a contact before
the net gets underway. Hearing none, again, this is Dave, KD7ZYM, and this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. Checked in via video links already is Ron, KD7QKU, Lee, N7KC in Port Angeles, Bob, K9PQ, Richard, K7ITX, Wade, W7ITL, Jim, N7QO, Carlos, AD7NP, and myself, Dave, KD7ZYM. Is anybody else who would like to check into the net? Hearing none, again, welcome to the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. We'll get underway, starting off with Ron, KD7QKU in Tacoma.
Okay, thank you very much, Dave. There comes my picture. So I'm using a different camera. I went back to this little old analog camera I have, and I'm using it now. I wanted to take my camcorder down. I thought maybe sometime I wanted to take some pictures, and I'd like to have my camcorder available. Maybe in the future I'll buy a different camera. I saw one on Amazon. I think it was $72, and I sent the thing to Wade. He looked at it. He said he thought it'd work fine. So maybe in the future I'll buy it. I don't know. But for now I'm going to use this camera. So let's see. The Huskies won. They won decisively. I think it was, 42-12 or 13. And the Cougars are ahead. They're playing Louisiana State, and they're, I think, 14-0 right now. So let's see. Today I went to the Ham Club, Tacoma Ham Club meeting. I haven't been there for a few weeks. And I talked to this guy named Jim. He lives north of me, about a mile, and he's a little bit lower down the hill than I am. But he has a tree that's 35 feet tall, and he started taking the limbs off of it. And he's gone as high as he wants to go, and he's going to have somebody come and do it. And then he wants to have it topped, and he wants to use it for a tower. So there's a possibility he could put an amateur television antenna. And he seems to be interested. He said Wade was going to come over and see if he could receive a picture at his house, but he can't remember if Wade did it or not, and I don't either. So anyway, he's got Wade's phone number. He's going to call him again. I asked him, I told him that he would have to spend some money. You'd have to get a transmitter and an amplifier. That's $500 or $600, and then he'd have to get a receiver, antenna, and stuff. And he never did give me a yes or no answer, but he kept saying he wanted to have Wade come over and check it out. So maybe that'll happen. So I don't know. He's my age, and he kind of looks like Dave. He's got a full beard and stuff.
5,
real
4,
nice guy. His name
6,
is Jim.
5,
all right,
disconnected.
That's enough. Nice to see everybody tonight,
3,
and
2,
looking
3,
forward to hearing
5,
your stories. So,
8,
KD7QKU, back to net.
to node 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 0.
KD7QKU, thanks for that. Let's move on to Lee, N7KC in Port Angeles.
And there's my call. Okay, there we go. Can you hear me okay? Okay, very good. All right, Lee here in 7KC in Port Angeles. Well, it's good to see all you folks tonight. Um, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. I don't know whether Jim's out in Covington tonight or not. But as Ron was saying, we're still pretty dry here. We're way behind for the year. We've got about 13 inches of rain now, and it's supposed to be around, well, when the year's over, it's supposed to be like 25. So we've got to get a lot of rain before the end of December, which is coming up pretty darn fast. Uh, Not a lot to report here. It's been today was one of the grayest days we've had. No sunshine at all. I had in the rain gauge this morning, I had 0.02 inches. I've got a Stratus precision gauge, which has a graduated cylinder within a cistern and so forth. So when the cylinder is full, it's 1 inch. So it's got a fairly large aperture on it. And I can measure 0.01, 0.02 with ease, no problem. And the way it works is if the central column fills up, it just overflows into the cistern on the inside. And then you basically pour from the cistern as many times as necessary to fill or to read it off the graduated cylinder that comes with it. So it's a very nice gauge. They're not terribly expensive, around $40, something like that. If you're going to buy a really nice rain gauge that's manual, easy to read, very accurate, then that's the one to go for. I don't really have anything else. I thought I would stick around for half the net and then join Paula for I think she's got a movie queued up. Anyway, back to you, Dave. N7KC, Lee in Port Andrew.
N7KC, thanks for that. Let's see if we got Bob, K9PQ, online.
Hey, yes, I am here, Dave. Good evening, everybody. This is K9PQ. And, well, Wednesday, I was going to share my big news, but it had been a big, a lot of excitement, a lot of things going on. I actually fell asleep before the net. So, yeah, we got a renter. We got a signed lease. And, in fact, today is their move-in day. Today, or I should say, today is the first day of their lease. So they have taken possession of it as of today. As far as the rest of the stuff, well, I'm working on getting the loan. It should be automatic. It's just a matter of resubmitting the paperwork. And the loan officer, or not loan officer, but the mortgage broker who's setting all this up for me, she has to do a lot of stuff. They're about, I don't know, half a dozen or more different documents that she's got to get all lined up. And then she'll send them to me all at once. And I was kind of hoping I'd get it on Friday, but that was a little too soon. So probably Monday I'll get it. And everything's electronic. I'll just get a link in an email and then sign everything electronically, and away it goes. And the place in Oak Harbor, last I checked, was still available. I haven't talked with my my agent. She was going to reach out to the seller's agent and just let them know what's happening. We're going to make another offer like we did before, which is called subject to finance. It's like a contingent offer, but because it's not contingent on me selling anything else, it's just waiting for me to get the loan to come through. They call it subject to finance. And So we'll get that, and then that will lock it up for me. And then it's just a matter of it'd be a couple of weeks before the loan comes through. And Sherry, my agent, said surprisingly it might be just a few days because it's an all-cash offer. It might be just a few days before closing. So very optimistically, I'm thinking right around the 1st of December, first week of December. But it could go past that. I'm hoping for before Christmas. That's my main thing. Okay, well, that's a lot for starters. I'll send it back, K9PQ.
K9PQ, thanks with that.
And
quick ID here. This is the Western
Washington Amateur Television Society Net.
machine. I'm Dave, K7CYM.
Let's
Richard, K7.
7ITX.
Boy, wouldn't that be a great Christmas present? Man, oh man. I got my fingers crossed for you, Bob. I used to be a kind of in a similar scenario like you. Well, probably about 30 years ago, when I had rental property, and I had to sell it before I could buy the house that I'm in today. And it was just like kind of you're waiting for the first domino to fall, and then when it does, then it's kind of one thing after another, and the next thing you know, you're moving in. And I was sure excited when I had the house our very first day. I felt like I was in a hotel. I was by myself, and the place is pretty empty except for me. And so yeah, Bob, I feel for you. This is pretty exciting stuff. So, and then and I'm a little bit like I was telling Ron, I'm kind of excited for Carlos going to Las Vegas to the Formula One races. That's about as glamorous as racing comes. So, God, and Carlos's friends, I'm sure, are going to show him a very nice time. I can't think of a better venue, so I envy him. But I've had my fill of racing lately. Thunder Hill, went to that twice in the month of October, November. That was very spectacular. And then Portland twice over the summer. And then, of course, Pacific Raceway here in Seattle. It's been a great season. And particularly Thunder Hill, the first trip to Thunder Hill, getting first place, and that was awesome. That was just, we blew the pants off the competition with our little Datsun. One RX, no, not RX. It was a Datsun 280Z. Got in a drag race with us on the second lap down the main straightaway, and he passed us. But then when he came up to the hill turn, he passed us and then went right off the road, and we kept right on going. So he ended up way in the back, and we ended up way ahead. It was pretty exciting stuff, and so. Anyway, now I just got regular car problems. My wife's got a really nice Ford 2016 Edge Sport, and I just love it to death. It's a V6 turbocharged, dual top and bottom dual charged, and it really has, and then traction control, all that. But we got a headlight out, and I'll be damned if I can change it out. I took it to the dealer, and we thought we were going to get it taken care of Friday, but then they broke the only light they had trying to put ours in. So I got to go back Monday after they get another headlight to replace the one they broke. So that's my big excitement, other than just a lot of good vittles, kicking back and waiting for the Seahawks game tomorrow. K7ITX. Back to Dave in Net Control.
K7ITX, thanks for that. And let's go pick up. Wade,
W7
in Tacoma. What say you?
What's
And no response on Wade, W7ITL in Tacoma. So let's go to Covington to Jim, N7QO.
Node 323.
N7QO. Thank you, Dave. Good evening, everyone.
Node 312.
Well, Ron and Lee and Dave, good pictures from you.
Node
excellent audio from all of you on both 2 meters and from the television repeater. Darn it. Bob and Dick, I have good audio on you on 2 meters, but I forgot to check because I didn't see the pictures pop up. I forgot to check for audio from the two of you over the television repeater. I assume it was there, but I'll check it next go around if I remember. Let's see. So Ron, watching the games. Huskies won. Cougars are ahead. That's good. Lee, man, it's still dry out there. It's not supposed to be a desert. I'll tell you what, we are waterlogged over here. Yesterday it rained nonstop. It just rained and rained. And it rained a little bit more today. At times it was more of a drizzle, but it was steady for a couple of hours. We don't need any more rain here. I don't know what the numbers are statistically, but we are floating over here. Dick, that's good to hear. Sounds like you thoroughly enjoyed this racing season. I'm glad for you. Glad you were able to do that. I am guessing it was a struggle for you at times, but good, you were at least able to do that. And funny you're talking about a headlight on the Ford Edge. I had a friend with a Ford Edge. He did not yet have problems with that, but he really liked the vehicle. I do have a friend with a different car. It was like 2 summers ago. I don't remember for sure what kind of car it was, but he had one headlight that went out, and what they had to do with it is remove the entire nose of the vehicle, basically, to replace the headlight. And but the problem there is he had to wait for parts. And the headlight, believe it or not, was coming from a different country. I don't remember which one, but it was one that was having some sort of struggles. I don't remember if it was Ukraine or where it was. At any rate, they wanted to charge him $1,200 for one headlight. So he thought that he may as well replace two of them, both of them at the same time, since you have to disassemble as much of the vehicle as you did. And he decided he was just going to sell the car, so he did, and was kind of relieved to be done with it. But yeah, some of these newer vehicles in particular can be a real pain to work on. I'm sure there are tricks, and there are, in some cases, special tools, but it's probably a whole lot easier once you learn the secrets, which, of course, they don't tell you in the owner's manual. So good luck with that, Dick. I feel for you on that. Back to you, Dave, N7QO.
N7QO, thanks for that. This is Dave,
This is
ZYM, and for an ID the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. Coming up next, Carlos, 87 NP in Clyde Hill. Carlos, what say you?
All right. Let's see if audio is flowing. I think so. I see movement. It's great. Good evening, everyone. This is 87 NP from Clyde Hill. Great to see everyone. Also on Discord and here on the TV repeater. Ron, commenting on your camera looks pretty good. We need to figure out now the microphone for it, and kind of, or maybe kind of a whole integrated solution. The camera that I'm using does have a microphone, but I ended up on connecting this microphone externally, trying to not pick up as much noise around me. Lee, on the weather station, I've been looking about getting something that then reports electronically, and there's this news stations that they measure based on impact of the rain on this, and it's kind of an acoustic measurement to then calculate. And I've been curious about that. I think it's called Tempest Station. So I might try to. I see a lot of them here on the neighborhood, and then they communicate over Wi-Fi, and you can put the reader anywhere. Okay. Something got dropped. Now it's back. This is 87 NP again for the Washington Amateur Television Society Net. Rob, congratulations. December. We're going to put it on the schedule to go and assemble the tower. I don't know if the property has limitations. Let us know. I was considering a 65-foot tower, but let me know if that's too big. We'll arrive probably on December 24 in the evening, so we'll be there. But congratulations on all of that. Richard, I'll make sure I'll take pictures. I still have to go to San Francisco before we have a big event there, and so I'm spending the week in San Francisco, and then Thursday night I'm going to Vegas. I'm missing some of the events on Thursday, but I'll attend the practices on, I think, Friday, and then the race on Saturday, and then I'll be back on Sunday. I think as I was watching the program, I think it might start at 8. So maybe I can dial in into the net from the race. That would be fun. I'll give you some live action. On the what was the additional? And Jim, happy to register that we're still doing well on the receiver output, and audio is flowing in both directions. Just one of the receivers there is not working so well, the lower frequency. That's why Dave and Ron were not going into full screen on video, but I'm using the second receiver. And since Lee is coming in over OBS, then it's always full screen. Update on my side, I've been having some fun now that the HF antenna and rig is all working fine. I went back to using the satellite rig, and I had to go back to my ICOM 9700. I feel that I was missing buttons, and flex radio and all the transverters was having some problems, but quite happy now. There was a fantastic pass today of the International Space Station. Got a contact on that one. The RS-44, the Russian satellite that still keeps going around, is also working really well. And so those are the favorite satellites of the moment. So all good here. I see that Wade is there. After the last net, Mario sent us a note that he was waiting for an opportunity to check in at some point. I was noticing also that on the different All-Star connections, we do have some listeners from different nodes. So good evening to everyone that's connecting to our All-Star node. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, and you can watch it also all on the internet if you look for it on any search engine or on the page. And sending it back to Dave, our net control, from 87 NP in Clydesdale. 1, 2, 3.
'87 NP, thanks for that. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. And it's time to get a quick ID. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. And here in Lake City, I got 53 degrees and cloudy and raining outside. Boy, it's been a moist day today. I thought for sure I'd have webs between my fingers, but it didn't seem that wet in the neighborhood. So anyway, and then congratulations to Bob and getting everything together to be able to have a solid roof over his head again. So congratulations on that. And Lee, with a little rain coming in, is not as much as everybody else, but at least getting a little bit of water there. And Richard sitting back with a little R&R, that's pretty good. But anyway, a recap of all of the races he was able to attend this year. It's been a great thing for him to get out and get around, so that's pretty good. And Ron with a new camera, and the camera we saw on the air tonight, good coloration, and it looked pretty good. It didn't have that orange color to it. It was back to normality. So that's about it. This is Dave, KD7ZYM in Lake City. And oh, by the way, I did watch the Alabama football game, and they seem to have lost that this afternoon. And WSU
was ahead 14-zip
on the last, was able to see that. So I'm going to move it up to Ron, KD7QKU in Tacoma.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Dave. Good evening to the group again, KD7QKU here, North Tacoma. Well, Bob, that's wonderful news. I'm excited for you. I know moving and everything is really a big deal, but I think you got everything in pods or something now, so they'll just maybe all you'll have to do is take it out and put it in. And I'm sure have my fingers crossed that the house is still available and that'll work out. I saw pictures of it, that's a cute little place, really nice. Jim N7QO, you were talking about replacing a headlight. I have a headlight story. So my wife we bought a Honda new quite a few years ago, and one day she called me and said one of the headlights went out. Oh, I said, just stop by the Honda dealer there on the way home. There was a Honda dealer close to where we live, and get them to fix it. So she called me and said, Jiminy Christmas, they want $100 to install it. And I said, oh my. I said, well, just buy the stuff and bring it home. I'll put it in. So she did, and it was, it was like the whole glass unit. It was expensive. I forget what it was. I almost think it was like $200, but I can't remember. Oh, anyway, I went out and decided to put it together. Well, I ended up taking the front bumper off the car, and then I had to jack it up and take the tire and wheel off. It was a left front headlight, the driver's side that went off. I had to take the tire and wheel off. I had to take the inner fender panel out, and if I hadn't had tools and knew how to do things, I would have never been able to do it. I bet I spent 4 hours on it. And then, of course, you had to put it all back together again. And so I told her after that, if the other headlight goes out, spend the $100 and have them put it in. It was too much work. Really, it was a lot of work, especially when you didn't know how to do it. Anyway, and what else is going on? Carlos, that's going to be fun, watching the races down in Las Vegas. I guess Las Vegas is having a little financial slump. The tourism has dropped off. Sounds like everything's so expensive down there, food and everything. You don't get cheap food, I guess, like you did many years ago when we went down there. And so, anyway, so I guess that's it. I sent Wade a text, and it looks like he's here, so that's good. It sounded like he had a long drive today. All right, back to net, KD7QKU. Oh, and I'm glad my little camera seems to be working. KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, thanks with that. Let's move on to Lee, N7KC in Port Angeles. What say you, Lee?
Okay. Let's clear my throat. This is there we go. N7KC Lee in Port Angeles. Have I got audio okay? Am I okay audio wise? Okay, very good. All right. Well, Carlos, I responded when you mentioned Tempest. I have a Tempest station here. It'll be 2 years in February. Or is it 3 years? I don't know. Anyway, a while. And it's pretty nice. The barometer is excellent. The hardware anemometer, outrageous. It's nice to have no moving parts. Temperature is good and all that. And I noticed the other day they've got a newer model. I don't know if I'll upgrade to it or not. If I thought that the hepatic rain sensor were a little more accurate, I probably would. But it doesn't work on snow at all. And if you have an extremely light rain, it may or may not detect it. But the Stratus gauge, which you want to look up Stratus, boy, it's flawless. Very, very nice. Anyway, so I have dual records here for everything for a long time. And I also match it with the airport, which is just about a quarter mile south of me. And they've got an automated weather platform there. and I can look at it either online or I can get it from the AM broadcast there at the airport on the weather. So anyway, I keep records on those three systems and so forth, so I can compare them. Been doing it for a long time. I don't have anything else. Every time I work with um, OBS, I think, well, I've got to go back and spend some time on the manual, and get better acquainted with some of these controls. I seem to be able to get get some kind of a picture included and audio and so forth, but I need to spend more time and get familiar with it. But it's been pretty good. My contest is going to be get some video outside uh, fed into the thing so I can actually do something like that. I have not looked into that yet. Okay, I think that's it for me. I notice it's going to make at least one round, and now I've gone just a little over that. Good to see you all tonight. And Covington Jim, how do? Bob, good show on your rental. That's been a pain in the behind for a long time, and now you can get on with your life. Very good. That's it, I think. Dave, back to you. This is N7KC Lane, Port Angeles. We'll see you guys down the pike.
N7KC, thanks for that. Let's go on to Bob, K9PQ. What say you, Bob?
Okay, this is Bob, K9PQ, coming to you from Illahee State Park. I think technically just outside of Bremerton, but basically you cross the street and you're in Bremerton, or East Bremerton, which I think might be a neighborhood. Anyway, it's right close to the town, and it's been kind of crummy weather so far, so I haven't been down to the water yet. But my niece lives in Bremerton. I'll be visiting her on Monday, and her husband and a newborn baby. So I'm very excited about that. But she said, "Oh, you'll love it there," and it's clearly very, very popular as a summer daytime use place. She said it's almost impossible to get a campsite in the summer, which I can imagine because the campground part isn't all that big. I think there's only about 30 spots, maybe. It's very small, but they have at least 4, maybe 5 big parking lots throughout the park for people to go just to enjoy the park, but also to go down to the beach. And so it's clearly really set up for that. And I would like to get down to the beach. Maybe tomorrow I'll find a break in the weather and go. Let's see. Yeah, Carlos, December 24th. I'm glad, with you organizing the work party, I think it's going to get done. I'm very confident about that, Carlos. I wish. I'm going to try and get some sneaky antennas in. I'm planning to put a loop antenna in the attic going around the entire roof line of the house. I've done something similar with good results in the past. I've got a really good antenna tuner that will tune just about anything, and I have used that in the past with a full loop, and it worked really well. It's one, I can't remember the name of it, and I don't even know if they're still made anymore, but it was at the time, it had just one connector for the antenna, and then the other was basically the base plate, and it had a lot of maritime use. And so the base plate was just grounded out to the salt watering, and you had the other side was your single antenna going up, and it would you could just run it up, along not at the mast, but somewhere, out away from the mast, out and get really good reception that way out over the water. But I got pretty good reception with using it in a loop configuration. So that's my plan. I mean, I will certainly have a VHF thing set up, and I can't remember. It's been a while now since I did since I checked the path to this repeater. You know what? I'm not going to try to guess. I'll find out, and I'll let you guys know the next time around. Good on the camera, Ron, and the Huskies, and Richard with the racing, and Dave. Yeah, keep checking those feet. Hope they don't get web feet. And yes, moving. I had to talk about replacing the headlights. Oh my goodness. My 03 4Runner, that's doing just fine, thank you, and I'm very happy it's been doing fine throughout this whole traveling trip here. I had a headlight go out, and I decided to replace it with LEDs, and it couldn't be easier. You know, you just go into the open the hood, and you pop out one bulb at the back of where the headlights are. It's just the bulb that pops out, and you pop in the replacement, and you're good to go. The only kind of funny thing about the LEDs is there's a constant fan running because of the heat's generated with trying to do the voltage regulation. So you hear it when you turn on the headlights before you start the car, and you hear that fan go on. And once or twice, I turned off the power, and I thought, why do I still hear something? And it was that. Okay, well, I'll send it back. Great to hear everybody, and hopefully we'll be seeing you again very soon. Back to net. K9PQ.
K9PQ, thanks with that. Let's go to Richard, K7ITX. And following Richard will be Wade, W7ITL. So let's go to Richard first.
Okay, well, I didn't give much detail on on what I'm expecting to have to pay for our darn headlight. You don't have to take off the front end or the bumper or the fender. My God, that was insane. I'd pay $100 for someone to do that other than myself. I don't know. I took a look at how I might have to do it if I did it myself. I could have went on YouTube, but at least now, they're charging a couple $100 just for the damn bulb. I couldn't believe it. But, I wasn't shocked. That's the quartz halogen. They're pretty nifty anyway. And then they broke it. So that's probably what I would have done too. So instead of paying $200, I would be paying $400. But since they broke it, I don't have to expect to pay for the broken one. But I think by the time everything's all said and done, I'm going to be looking at $300 to $400. No question about it. There's a dust cover that covers the back of the opening for the headlight, that some neoprene cover that had fallen apart. So I thought, well, let's get that replaced, and they want $50 for that. So it is, when these new cars get like ours, about 9 years old, things do break down. The tire sensors, all four, I had those replaced for about $50 a piece. They tell you on your display, what the pressure is in your tires and that sort of thing. Well, they run on batteries, and the batteries wear out. But it's a very nice feature. But I don't know. We'll see how long I can bear these expensive maintenance deals before I just give up on it and get a new car. But for whatever reason, I'm happy with my 20-year-old Ford F-150. It's running beautiful. The shock absorbers and perhaps part of maybe the ball joints, I'm not sure. They're a little suspect, but nothing that I'm too concerned about for getting around town. Just I drive to Seattle now and then, or Tacoma, and it's a very nice ride. I love my pickup, that's for sure. It's and the engine, and big 5-liter V8, 5.4 liter, and it's plenty of power. That's one thing I like about my cars, is they've got plenty of power. And I guess if I ever go electric, I understand the torque on these electric cars isn't anything to sneeze at. As Dave might be able to tell us, they have a lot of get up and go from the starting position especially. So that's about all I know. It's been a great net so far. For some reason, I thought that James was going to be on board, but evidently not. Anyway, K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX, Richard, thanks with that. Let's go to Wade, W7ITL in Tacoma. W7ITL in Tacoma. And no response from Wade, W7ITL, so let's move on to Jim, N7QO in Covington.
Well, I see Wade's picture. Maybe he could try it now.
All right, we'll try that again for Wade, W7ITL.
Some problems going on with my audio. I've been trying to get it to work here, and it seems to be a conflict or something going on with my audio channels. So this should be pretty quick because I'm pretty tired. I've been driving a lot today, so just say hi to everybody, and nice to see everybody, and all right, guys. I'll catch you guys later. If I can hold out another round, I'll try, but if I don't respond, I'm probably offline.
W7ITL, thanks with that. Now let's pick up Jim again in Covington, N7QO.
The 2-meter repeater's not dropping. Not sure if anyone can hear me. Can you hear me, Dave?
through fine. Full quieting.
Okay, there it went. Okay, thanks, Dave. Yeah, Wade, good to see you. Outstanding picture. Yeah, some audio problems, but anyway, thanks for saying hi. So let's see here. Bob, yeah, congratulations on the renter. And beach tomorrow. Might get rained out, but anyway, should be happy about that. And let's see, Ron, or excuse me, let me say Bob and Carlos. I don't want to rain on anyone's parade, but you might want to delay the tower at least one more day. Because December 24th, someone's going to be looking to go down Bob's new chimney, and we wouldn't want them to get shish kebabbed on a tower there. You need to give it a while so that the tower shows up as an obstruction on the GPS, just in case Rudolph calls in sick there. But, yeah, already making plans for a tower. Outstanding. Let's see. Ron and Dick. Okay, I've got another story about vehicles. This happened when I was a youngster, in the 70s, I'm sure. I had an International Scout, and it was the middle of winter, snow on the ground. My exhaust system developed a leak, and it really got to be noisy. Well, I thought about taking it somewhere and having the system replaced, but I thought I would do it myself. So I bought all the pipes and a new muffler. I was just going to replace the whole thing from the manifold all the way to the tailpipe. And because of the weather, and I did not have a garage in which to work, I had the new pipes and the new muffler just lying in the back of the vehicle. Well, I was at a traffic light this one day, and a law enforcement officer pulled up next to me, and unfortunately, when the light turned green and I pulled away, he immediately pulled me over, saying that I was making all this noise. And he said, "Do you have a muffler on that thing?" I said, "Yes, officer." And he said, "Where is it?" And I pointed to the new pipes and new muffler sitting in the back. And I told him that I was hopefully waiting for the snow to stop a little bit before I install it. Well, he gave me a ticket anyway. The thing which frustrated me, I thought that I had better replace it the next day. So that's what I did. And I'm lying on my back in the cold on the concrete in the snow and working on this thing. And I had loaned out my deep wells, so I'm really pushing on this manifold stud, half-inch drive, and the socket slipped off of that, and I broke my thumb. And so for an effort to save, I don't know, some trivial amount of dollars, which seemed to be a lot to me at the time, here I got a really nasty cold, had to call in sick for a couple of days, and I broke my thumb, and I don't remember how much I had to pay for this traffic citation, but I lost money on that one, and I lost big time. So anymore I lean toward having someone else do the work. But I don't know. You may be amused by that. I certainly was not amused at the time.
6, 4,
anyway,
5,
back to you, Dave, N7QO.
Time out.
N7QO, thanks for that. And the question was, where is James, WU7N? I got a text from him. He's helping a friend drive down to California and back, and said he'll miss two of our meetings. So that would be this one and the one coming up. So let's move on to Carlos, 87NP. This is Dave, KD7ZYM.
All right. This is 87NP back on the air with audio and video. So that's good. That everything is working. I got the message from Lee. He definitely recommends this Tempest station, so that's good to know. I'll try to get one during Christmas. Maybe this is what I should tell the family that I want as a Christmas present. And to Bob and the loop antenna in the attic. Yeah, I think loop is a good solution because definitely will get less noise. You might also, I don't know if you have a 200 megahertz. There's plenty of 200 megahertz repeaters in the area, and I was setting it up recently, and I think there's one in Port Orchard, and also was it kind of in the north, Anacortes and all of that, and I was able to make all the 200 megahertz repeaters from here, so that's probably a good communication line. Also, no light replacement. I have replaced the argon lights, the headlights. I had a Jeep Liberty. This was what I got it in 2003. I think it was my first and last Jeep that I would buy in my life. It was very nice while it was in warranty, but then not so good when it ran out of warranty. And Jim took note. Okay, we'll cancel the December 24 deployment of the tower to not create obstructions to the Santa Claus flight. We'll be tracking that here with the satellite antennas. Thank you very much for the net. I'm going to skip the next two, or if not, I will attend remotely. So I'll give it a try. And have a good evening, everyone, from 87NP in Clydesdale, sending it back to Dave.
'87NP, thanks for that. And this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. Machine, I'm Dave, KD7ZYM, and it's time to turn the Washington Amateur Television. Again, this is Dave, KD7ZYM. We'd like to thank our sister station, WW7ATS. 2-meter repeater for simulcasting our audio transmissions during our net. So with that, I'm going to close up the net at 9 o'clock. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. Good evening, all.
Node 3670028 disconnected.